Coming up on 10, an incredible three-point contest. Sabrina Ionescu against Stephen Curry. A massive Big 12 matchup. The winner gets a top spot in the conference. Then a change in MLB nobody asked for. Nike must have consulted George Costanza.
You know they used to make leisure suits out of this fabric?
You really think Todd's better?
They look like they're having trouble running. They can't move.
Welcome to the Tariq Entertainment Network. I'm Tariq Bryant.
And I'm Owen Lau.
Two of the best shooters alive competing in a three-point contest. New York Liberty Sabrina Ionescu and Golden State Warriors Stephen Curry. A shooter that doesn't disappoint and leaves you wanting more. Second All-Star weekend in Indianapolis, Indiana. Keep in mind, Sabrina Ionescu is shooting from NBA range, and that's to keep it even, and she starts off hot, knocking down the entire first rack. Ionescu holds the three-point contest record of 37 points. Curry thought he was seeing flashbacks after the first rack. From the left wing, she makes 4 of 5 of her money balls. Ionescu ends up with 26 points. But now, it is time for arguably the greatest shooter of all time, Stephen Curry. He currently holds the NBA record for most career threes at 3,642. And from the left wing, he goes 5 for 5, perfect. Opposite wing, well, it's the same thing. Curry 5 for 5. This is probably why he's the greatest shooter of all time, shooting 17 of 20 through the first 4 racks. Curry's money ball where he makes the big bucks, and he makes all but one. Curry wins 29 of 26. Curry hopes there's more of this type of competition in the future.
This couldn't have gone any better in the sense of, us two taking the chance in front of this stage, one round with all the hype, and to deliver like that. She set the bar. It was unbelievable to watch. I don't know if anybody can fill these shoes, but it might be something they need to do more often.
Many fans want Stephen Curry with Caitlin Clark against Damian Lillard and Sabrina Ionescu next year.
I think it would be really interesting to bring Klay Thompson in because he picked Sabrina to beat Steph. So if we have him and Sabrina team up, I think that would be really fun to do next year. Number 2, Houston hosted number 6, Iowa State. Both teams hosted 9-3 records in conference play. The winner of this game takes home sole possession of first place in the Big 12. These teams have the top 2 turnover margins in the nation. So they force turnovers on defense, and they don't turn it over on offense. Houston jumps out to an early double-digit lead. Milan Momcilovic off balance and won. Houston was up by as much as 12 early on, but Iowa State cut the deficit to 5 at the half. Second half, Houston turns to their fearless leader, Jamal Shead. Double-teamed, doesn't matter, count the bucket. Shead would drop 20 in the second half, so more from him later. The Cyclones scheme a man open before a vicious block from Javier Francis. Right place, right time, though, for Trey King. Second chance points for Iowa State. We return to the second half Shead show. Nasty step back, drills it. Shead has been integral for the Cougars since his sophomore year, but he's stepped up this year, scoring and assisting at career high levels. And because he's on fire, Malik Wilson is wide open. Splash. Houston with their 10th conference win of the year, and they won the turnover battle with 9 to Iowa State's 16. I picked Houston to win it all in March Madness last year, and they broke my heart, so I don't know if I can do it again this year.
I chose correctly and chose UConn, and that's just very unfortunate for you. So, After the break, our first look at Corbin Burns with his new team, the Baltimore Orioles. We'll be right back at 1:10.
Only Super Bowl winners get a ring, right? Wrong. M&M's presents the Almost Champions Ring of Comfort. It's actual science. First, we took comforting M&M's peanut butter and compressed it into real diamonds.
It doesn't taste like peanut butter.
Don't lick the blame.
Then we polished them with the size of those who almost won a Super Bowl.
Almost.
And Scarlett Johansson.
I've lost 2 Oscar races.
In the same year. Psst, don't tell Marino I gave you this.
Since it is February, we celebrate Black History Month. Today is about how the actions of one person leads to others following. That person is Deion Sanders.
Now, we're young, so we didn't actually get to see Deion when he was an athlete, but we've experienced him as a college football coach, how eccentric he is and how he does things his way.
According to Uncle Shannon, he's always been about putting in the work, doing your job, and do what needs to be done. But back when he was a player in 1997, Deion Sanders made a tribute to Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier 50 years prior. Sanders cut his sleeves, raised his pants above the knees to resemble Robinson's uniform. Sanders says this is the real way you honor a player. There is no better way to honor a man than to dress accordingly as he did. At the time, all players wore a patch to celebrate Robinson, but Sanders wanted to do more. MLB did not approve of this and threatened to fine the Reds. Team captain Barry Larkin and other players helped to convince GM Jim Bowden to change the uniforms. Sanders said, "That lets you know this team sticks behind one another." The Reds wore the altered uniforms for road games the rest of the season. The sleeveless look became common for the Cincinnati Reds in the early 2000s.
Speaking of baseball uniforms, MLB will debut a new model this year. Nike partnered with Fanatics to make the design changes. They say the uniforms are supposed to be softer, lighter, and stretchier, but they certainly don't look good. Reactions around the baseball community have been resoundingly negative.
I think we can all agree the new Fanatics MLB jersey stinks.
There's no stitching anymore. It's all heat transferred on. So you don't have, it doesn't look like an authentic, nice jersey.
It looks tiny and like just screen printed on.
And that's the problem. That's why people are pissed.
Here's a comparison to show how different these new uniforms are. The names are smaller and curved, the MLB logo is moved, and nothing is stitched. Players have been quoted saying the jerseys look cheap, are low quality, and look like replica handouts. We should have seen this coming when Nike designed this masterpiece for the World Baseball Classic. The Baltimore Orioles are one of the more exciting young teams in baseball. They won 101 games last year with a young team.
And they're just going to get even better since they added Corbin Burns from the Milwaukee Brewers. The former Cy Young winner has a career 3.36 ERA and can give the O's the elite starter they haven't had in years. The Orioles could have waited until the July trade deadline, but they didn't. The O's get an ace, and Burns gets time to adjust to his new team. Burns reported for spring training in Sarasota, throwing a bullpen with Adley Rutschman. Manager Brandon Hyde is thrilled with the new addition.
You know, and what he's done these last 5 or 6 years is incredibly impressive, and we saw him firsthand. Our guys saw him firsthand in Milwaukee last year and didn't really enjoy their at-bats against him, so I feel really great. I feel great about having him here, and it's nice to officially meet him in person yesterday, and looking forward to watching him pitch for us.
The Orioles' rotation looks strong on paper, but they won't be starting off the season entirely healthy. Kyle Bradish has a UCL strain and will begin the year on the injured list. John Means is still recovering from an elbow injury from last season. Corbin Burns joining the roster is good timing for the Orioles, as Bradish will be out for a long time and Means will join just after opening day.
The fact that they'll both be coming back is fine for the Orioles. They have a good enough team. They'll still be in the postseason hunt. When we come back, the man, the myth, the legend, Pete Weber, will celebrate his iconic career.
Who do you think you are? I am!
That's just one of his legendary moments. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Dunkin' and new special. Dunkin' Run, medium or large coffee, get a donut for an incremental $1. Like, how can it be this inexpensive and good?
Cream, no sugar.
I'm just gonna have to just give you 10 munchkins. You look a little lost. 1 second, I'm trying to find the bagels. Do I look familiar? Oh. Should I be in it, or do you want just use the self-portrait?
What are you doing here?
Curse me, find my
Is this
friends.
what you do when you say you're going to work all day?
I gotta go, guys.
Grab me a glazed.
Even if you aren't the biggest bowling fan, the chances of you seeing Pete Weber is pretty high. His swagger, skill, uncanny quotability has resulted in several viral clips, making him a beloved character on the internet.
After 45 years in the game, the bad boy of bowling bows out. Weber's antics often overshadowed the great bowler he was. His father, Dick Weber, was an original member of the Professional Bowlers Association and is a Hall of Famer. Those were some large bowling shoes for Pete to fill when he joined the PBA in 1979, and he did just that. Pete spent the next 40 years dominating the PBA with 37 titles and 10 major championships. He was iconic all the way up to his final PBA frame.
I appreciate all the fans I had. Hate me or love me. You watched. That's all you could do. Thank you.
What a line. Weber retired from the PBA after that, but continued touring. Last week, he fully retired from bowling at the Pete Weber Missouri Classic.
I appreciate all the support that you guys have given me throughout my years. I love you all. Thank love you, Pete, so much. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Dino.
I actually haven't gone bowling in a couple years, but Pete Weber just inspired me to go to the lanes sometime soon. Let's wrap up the show with a little game of Guess Who?
Our producers have given us 5 clues to guess this mystery player. Let's see if we can figure it out. Let's see what we have here. Quarterback.
Okay. He wears a single-digit number.
5 letters in his first name.
Also, the winner gets a prize via messenger pigeon. He plays for a bird team.
Ooh, top 2 in QB rushing attempts in 2023. I think I know who it is.
I'm pretty confident as well. I think I know who it is.
I can guarantee you're wrong because it's definitely Lamar
Jalen
Jackson.
Hurts.
No.
Bird team.
But
single digit.
You see the purple in the background, right? Lamar Jackson. Just show him. See?
It is. I should have known that when I came on 10. And
I still appreciate you.
I guess. I don't feel very appreciated. Unless you send me the messenger pigeon. But I didn't win. So
we don't use those anymore.
All right.
We thank you for watching. This is the Tyreek Entertainment Network. I'm Tyreek Bryant.
I'm Owen Lapp.
See you next time.